everybody, and welcome to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Yes, I am finally getting to the other games. We still haven't gotten Crossbell, though it shouldn't be too far. I can't remember. I think it's supposed to be early 2022. I don't think it's late 2021 because it's already December, like December 17th. It's gotta be like, it's gotta be 2022. You know, I played this game a bit when I was younger because I did have a PSP back then, back on my PSP 3000. But I remember next to nothing about it, and the only things I do remember come from the bits and pieces that I looked up back when I was trying to be like, I know I've seen something like this before, and that information. So not much. So it's gonna be like a whole new thing for me. So let's finally get to working on this one because it is beloved to many. I'm gonna stay on normal like usual. But yeah, I don't know much of anything about this one. But sure, let me know how the audio sounds. Since this isn't console and it's PC, running it through Steam, I'm not using the same program as I would be normally. My mic program is the same as it's still using the filter, but I am using OBS for the actual capture of the screen. And I'm running a couple filters and stuff to help with the audio. So let me know how it sounds for all of you. I set up a compressor so that the audio will drop when I start speaking. So I don't have to balance the audio nearly as much as I usually do. So let me know how it sounds. But all that aside, let's begin our adventure. Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today too. And Shara's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. So bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit more before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Daddy! Sorry to keep you waiting, Estelle. Did you take good care of the house while I was away? Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nah, I'm fit as a fiddle. That reminds me though, I brought you a present. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you go play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. Now why don't you come have a look? Ah! Oh, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? Why is my present a boy? Don't make such a fuss, or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? That's kind of dead, if you ask me. I treated his wounds, so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, we'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. Sure sleeps soundly. And he almost looked the same age as me. This is the first time I've seen black hair like that too. Certainly does have a nice head of dark hair. And a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? Fess up? Yeah, who is this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mommy? Where have you been picking up these kinds of words? No doubt from Scheherazade, I assume. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake, that girl is going to get me in trouble one of these days with all her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business. And I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look. He's waking up. Wow. His eyes really are the color of amber. What? Where am I? So you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Huh? You must be out of your mind. Why? Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why? Now that's a question I don't know how to answer. Because things just worked out that way? Worked for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright! Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey! You're sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just gonna make it take longer for your body to heal. And just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I had a daughter your age? Now that you mention it. Wait a minute, don't try to change this up. Ow! Quit yelling. Right already. You jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just going to make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind, just forget it. This is a word of advice. It would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Your name. You know, that thing that people call you? I told you mine already. So don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? It seems like the logical thing to do, if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... gotta say though, for me, the opening is kind of meh. Not bad, but it's kind of meh. Either way, I've got to mention, I got this back on the Steam Summer Sale. I think back around July or June, something like that. But no, I think it was July. I just didn't. I just haven't had the time. But now that I've finished Xenoblade and Tales of Arise and all the other stuff, I finally have the ability to focus on the stuff that I've been wanting to play for a while now. So we're gonna have some fun with this. Also, these ones might take a little bit longer for me to get out versus the other stuff that I did, mainly because I actually have to like run these through the editing software as opposed to using the Elgato software to actually edit it and then extract it. Rendering it takes much longer than the editing and extraction process with Elgato. Oh well. It's so bright in here. Yawn. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Guess that's a no. Well, I guess I'd better get myself ready then too. I forget what those are actually called. The recorder are the ones that are like flutes. Is it an ocarina? I don't know. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start playing. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Okay, game's too loud for my ears right now. Let me turn it down on my speakers. Because I have my headphones plugged into my speakers. Can't believe how awake you are. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Not that I mind. But that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. What do you mean, woman? We're the same age and I'm hardly a man. Tis, how wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. Yeah, what's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. Oh, that's right, The Whereabouts of Light. Wish I could play the harmonica, like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use the staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. And learn to dance while you play. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl's gonna be impressed with just that. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's enough talk about hobbies for now. For your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really, I believe that when I stopped finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry down before it gets cold? Alright, I'm on my way. It's for the grub, Dad. Why am I stuffed? Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? I asked it to my cousins. Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be a review of everything we learned up until this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers, just like you, Dad. That means I'm not gonna let you treat me like a kid anymore either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning, or in other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning and training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it, I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. Honestly, I don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Sieve? Is that what it is? Okay. Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. There's going to be waiting there for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Probably because she wants to go drink. Oh, she drinks like Sarah, but I don't know. Is she... No, she's definitely is bad. From what I've seen in she's definitely bad. But I don't know, does she try to find any opportunity to drink? Or is she just a really hard drinker when she does drink? I don't know, we'll find out, I bet. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Ronin style scallop fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle, or our stomachs. You're right, I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. Rude, but I can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of Liberal News from the General Goods Store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One copy of Liberal News from General Goods Store. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Sherazard my regards. Almost tripped over that. Probably heard that I slightly did. Hey! We have movements! Oh, I've already figured out how to run. How does that flash? What's the camera button mean? I can run! Well, walk faster, because they don't really have a running animation. It just kind of moves the walking animation faster. Ah, older games. Oh, hey, that's actually a nice picture. When I go down, what do I click on here? I am playing with a controller, and I do not use Xbox controllers. I do not own an Xbox. Ah, there we go. So that's how we do that. So if you hear me question which button would be a button that they tell me to press, that would probably be why. Actually, come to think of it, there aren't any buttons on the screen to give you an idea. I have Orbment. I heard the system's a little different. We'll see how some of this stuff goes. Working the map. So character positions, that's still a thing. I don't know why you would bother setting it. Well, you know, setting S-brake is usually a thing that happens when you have more than one. What's this? Oh, I can save. Yay, we're gonna make 3 of those because I do that. All right. Yeah. Is there anything upstairs? Oh, it's auto-saving. Probably shouldn't do that. Chest that I can't open. Terrace. Huh, okay. Alright. Ah. Here are... Oh. Oh. Huh. Oh, okay. Cool. Alright, let's go. Hopefully the frame rate's fine, because it's a little jarring to me. But it could just be my eyes. But I'm moving this fast. I do have it set to the 60, and, oh. Have here. It sounds basically there. I don't know. It's a lot of, where are we going? Oh, so you can, oh, alright. So, how would I access the, oh. Okay. Oh, look, there's Erebonia. And there's Calvert. So there, Laburo is smack dab. I should know this. That I don't exactly know where I'm going, and there's no markers to follow. Oh, they do have a running animation, which is, that's a weird button to have to press to do that. So that's walking, that's like a jog. So is this actually a fast forward instead of a run? It's a little weird because I have to basically press and hold L3 to run, which, I don't know. I would rather the rotation of the camera be that button and the running be whatever button was replaced with that. We made good time. Not too early or too late either. I'm gonna see if I can change that control. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is the last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place. So I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Yeah, I guess I did. Alright then, let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Jera. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Sarah at the Bracers Guild over there then. Okay, how do we do this? Oh. Oh. There's a map. Not just a... Huh. Okay, so what if I use the screenshot button? Okay, the screenshot button does the same thing that the touchpad does. So that's the map. I don't know about the whole camera rotation thing. What does L2 do? L2 doesn't do anything, it should just swap. How do I access this again? Okay, oh. Did I change the... No, I think I have to change the controls before I launch the game, which is a little difficult for me to, I think I'll have to change the controls before I launch the game. I guess it's okay. I just find it weird that to run, I have to press L3, press down on the control stick, which is not a good experience. Let's see. Bracer Guild is in red, so here. That's one way of doing it. Who are you? There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina? I'm gonna call her Ina. Good morning. Is Sherry here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracers Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, the inverse to the Wheel of Fortune. The difficult combination. Can I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, isn't Estelle and Joshua? This is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm. But I'm gonna work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Shara's picking on me. And don't worry, Shara. Though Estelle may hate studying and rarely does her homework, I didn't. Acts rashly and is overly naive. And has a tendency to stick her nose in everything. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an orbment with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all of your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. You know this? I was trying to get a vague reading of what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimum level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Orbments are mechanical devices that operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or process septum installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products, to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technology reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemirian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septum on the continent, and it is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive. But thanks to the Queen's political finesse, the borough enjoys peace. Okay. Let's see. Since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara? How's today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you will experience things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have both of you run through everything as if this was a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time, you have to go out and make physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure you have to work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I don't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly, you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Okay, that was a transition. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there is something that we need to give the both of you. I know. Are they ready? Yes, they are. Are you two? You'll get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebooks. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and where. These kind of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap. Sounds like it's gonna be a pain. Oh, please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all racers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. When the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting the job's name on the list, you can review their details. Can I go to either one of these, or does it have to be... I can go to either side, but it seems like it needs to be this one. Training retrieval. Training retrieval, client Sherazard, pay 500 Mira, details direct request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. Perm? Does that mean like some of these can expire and stuff? Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer notebook. The Bracer notebook can be easily found by clicking on the Books tab of the item menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a Bracer book shortcut button on the configuration menu. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a Bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for Bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I just have to be more motivated. Okay. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? And you betcha. Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. what we'll be doing this time. We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's orbital factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken the time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. This is where you will learn how to use an orbital factory services. They couldn't stand still behind the counter. They gotta be walking, doing their walk animation in place. As an orbital factory, you can modify your orbits and synthesize support cores in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, but the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. Leave everything to me. He stopped walking. So what is it you would like to know about? Orbits are mechanical devices that exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbits. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbits, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbit is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slot and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's a layman's explanation. In order to install a quartz, first you must have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be open in an orbital factory, like this. It'll take a fair amount of septum through. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. I agree. So, what is it you'd like to know about? Orbital arts. Simply put, orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbits. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are most universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding chords must be synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbits are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into the slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of the installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with the water element value. In reality, orbits are much more complex than what I've described, but I think this information is just advice for now. Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's ability while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz have been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots, which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbit and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. So, what is it you'd like to know about? This reminds me of, well, it was a PSP game. I was gonna say it reminds me of the PlayStation games, like the Digimon Story 3. The style. Not Digimon Story. Digimon World 3. Which makes sense. Sepith are fragments of septum which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: Earth brown, Water blue, Fire red, Wind green, Time black, Space gold, and Mirage silver. This is information we learned when we were playing Cold Steel. Sepith can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory, it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. Actually, trading Sepith for Mira was like my main way of making Mira. So what is it that you would like to know about? Yeah. Looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try to use the services here. For that, you're going to need some Sepith. Receive several types of each elemental Sepith. I keep tripping over that word a little bit. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally, at a shop, you would be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training, you will not be able to use this service. Upon approaching the counter, the chalk mark will appear. Pressing OK button will display a list of options. Select Modify or Trade to use the Oral Factory's services. You need to use the Oral Factory. Give Freddy a holler over there. Oh, okay. I gotta talk to this guy. Go on this. Modify or Trade. Quartz. Actually, one, because it has to be a time. Honestly, I don't know what to give Estelle. Oh, the attack one lowers defense. Odd. Interesting. HP or defense? The attack one lowers defense, but the defense one doesn't lower attack. Okay, I do like that the HP on here is percentage based right now, instead of, is there anything that's stopping me from making all of them? No, we could just make one for all of them. Hey, let's do that. Of course, into your orbments so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Go into your okay, well now triangle does something. Boy. Oh, so you can see what all of them will give you. 15% HP is not bad, but sometimes this might not be better than flat numbers. If your HP already reaches a certain amount, it actually be nice. Oh, I see they have impede, which is always nice. Okay. Yeah, it's like a trade-off. Attack for defense. But if you put attack and then defense, you pretty much balance it out. But it feels like it's kind of a waste of a slot. I guess some people could probably beat glass cannons or something like that. Wrong side. So she definitely wanted me to use water because she wanted you to be able to have recovery and attack. But I see. So it comes with the stats and some of the skills. Like, I don't remember, because my memory is one of those that only works when it wants to. Not when I want it to, when it works to. But I think action in like the Cold Steel was just, that one was just speed. And then for Soul Blur, it had its own. And then there were some that had multiple arts, like called whatever. I'm not gonna think about it right now. But yeah, It's a little bit different. Alright, looks like you've got both recovery and attack art set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should be much easier. It should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz chart in your bracer notebooks. Find something that works for you. And honestly, you get a lot more information right off the bat. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have you open a new slot in your orbits. Nice. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now, I want you to use this step and open a slot on each of your orbits. Go ahead and decide which slot you're going to open. Okay. So this one is openable, and this one is openable. These are not openable. Oh, I just now saw the side. Okay, so let's see. Slot 2. And then Joshua. I can't open Joshua's because they didn't give me enough sepet. You managed to open one of your orbit slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've been waiting for, the Qualification Test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test. Again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Not to mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along the lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. But no sense in worrying about that. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for her. How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all of your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. I'm only imagining that Scheherazade was pulling her by her two little pigtails like, ah, come on. All of your training most likely was really just dragging her arm. The other one's just more fun. All of your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what I said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jolt down what you read in your bracer notebooks. Unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item in the sewers. Ringing any bell? What a relief. Oh, divine Adios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts to sewers. So what you're really saying is, you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. Those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like rad memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about the positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test. So how about you both try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know, if you happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine what kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident about proving that you're not just blowing hot air, if you're so confident, then how about proving you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in the rolling sewers. The objective is to retrieve the contents of the chest, which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attribute, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Ooh, music. Wait a minute, Estelle. There appears to be a recovery point over there, so we should use it if our HP or EP becomes low. Orbital charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As that recovery point is approached, an exclamation mark. Okay, so it's the same thing as before. A lot, seeing it like that. Theirs looks like a, I don't know what to say it looks like, actually. Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Monsters cannot be seen from far away. They will become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of battle will change depending on how a monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is an advantage. Whatever. While being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantage. Hint. Battle order bar indicates who attacks first. It starts from the top and moves down. Hint. Attack an enemy. You may also use it to move if you are using a mouse and click the empty location. The highlight area indicates the distance a character can move. Selecting a target in this area will move the character to attack. When an enemy is out of range, that icon will appear on your cursor. Selecting an out-of-range target will move the character as close to it as possible, and no attack will be performed. Smack it with the big stick. Certainly got knocked back a little bit. Nice.
We're good to go.
That voice volume was kind of low. 4 Earth, 3 Fire. Oh, I think I kind of like how they show you your 7th. What's the menu buttons down there at the bottom? If I was to try to click it with my mouse, what would it do? Oh. Oh, okay, I see it. What am I looking at? Here comes more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts can also make long-range attacks possible, but they require time to be cast. EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, or using charging stations and other items like EP charge. Arts are effective against foes which are difficult to hit with a weapon, or those on which physical attacks have little effect. It takes some time for arts can be cast. Also, EQ is consumed when arts are cast. All arts have an element. Determine the element most effective against your foe and use it. I couldn't tell you what's most effective right now. We have water and what is this? Time? Oh, I see. I think it's balanced. I think when I clicked on the enemy, I saw the effectiveness chart.
Piece of cake.
I got an onion, and it was crispy. Let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that. Crafts have limited range. Crafts have range limits, but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. So far, I haven't needed this tutorial. Crafts are character-specific skills, which not only deal out damage, but also have a broad range of effects. Using crafts consumes CP. CP is gradually gained by dealing out or receiving damage in battle.
Come on.
Morale. Full strike. Yeah, elemental efficiency. Why does my English just fail me at the weirdest moments? Not bad. Slice.
That's that. Let's move out.
British horn. I wonder if that's it for the tutorials. Reviving bomb. Oh, what a surprise! Another creepy thing. Wish there was an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-craft or S-break should do the trick for just about any enemy. Catch is, our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when CP gauge is above 100. S-breaks are actions which allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. S-crafts which are unleashed as S-breaks can be changed by going to the tactics and set S-break within the menu. How do you use it though? I have no idea. Smack it with the big stick. These are actions which These are actions will allow F-craft to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order once CP gauge reaches 0. S-crafts which will be used as S-breaks can be changed by going to tactics and then set S-break within the main menu. Press the break button to unleash an S-break. S-break cannot be unleashed under the conditions. Now press the break button to unleash an S-break. If you're using a keyboard, you may use numbers 1 through 4. Arrow key. Okay. I would have liked to have been able to figure out what button it is. Okay, so it's just the arrow keys. So I can, all right, so I know how to use it. I'm not gonna use it right now. I'm gonna save Joshua's CP. Wall. I guess this is what we're after. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? If we made it this far, the rest is gonna be a piece of cake. Seems like we got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether they are allotted to an ally or foe. Using S-Break to ignore the battle order makes it easy to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus. Yeah, that's not what most of us use them for. These icons indicate the bonus is allotted to the battle order. If a bonus icon appears next to a character icon, they will receive that bonus. Heal HP, step it up, etc. indicate the effects of each. I have like no HP.
Let's do this!
Nice. Ha! That's why you missed. Ow. 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 With the big stick. Ow. What does it do? It killed it. I could just hit it with a big stick early.
Let's move out!
Small box. That's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. In fact, there's not just one, but two. Kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside. Remember, Cell, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. It has nothing to do with our mission. This is what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. You can get away with it. Teensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yes, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this was a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I I know you're right, Joshua, but I just can't help myself. You absolutely have to know what's inside. Why not ask Miss Cheryl when we get back? For now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright, alright. Surprised I had to use an healing item so early. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one. I figured she would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification exam. Test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shara, what's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and you to find out after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say that we passed the test? You have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shrink your duties. Let's go back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line isn't. Agreed. It seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took. Oh, yawns are fun. To get there are all part of your job as bracers. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. And as you already know by now, Ina is in charge here at the Roland branch. In addition, this is where you will be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Upon approaching the counter, the talk mark will appear. Press OK button will list report. Oh, okay. So it's business as usual. Receive payment for training retrieval. Rank Junior Bracer, 9th class. Total BP 1. Jobs completed 1. Current rank is Junior Bracer, 9th class. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objectives without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You'll also accumulate points, which are known as BP, Bracer points. BP are an indication of your achievement as a bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you'll advance in rank as a bracer and be awarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The ranks of a junior bracer start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank. Gosh, yawns are so interruptive because when you yawn, you can't really do much of anything until it passes. Please set your sights on making first rank and hard work. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebooks, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Ina. And sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it. Training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? Knowing Shara, it'll involve the whip. Oh, great. Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you'll be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then. Cheryl holds out 2 small boxes. Aren't those boxes the ones... In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet! Alright, let's have a look. Junior Racer emblem. Rest is... So does it mean that we're... Stell Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become members of the Bracer Guild. So, I'm a Bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only now just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You used to be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world! We did it! I was happy until you made my ears bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebration, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand, you have been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Sheriff, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Sheriff. I'm mentioning, training new recruits is one of a Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. Well, that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged Bracers early on, so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable Bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Sherazard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young Bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who is always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. Oh, so she doesn't know his middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you exceed in that fashion. Does she not know? Never mind. It seems Joshua does. Let's hurry and head home. Let Dad know how we qualify as Junior Bracers. Huh. So when do they find out? I did not. I wasn't trying to talk to you. I'm gonna skip you now, because I wasn't trying to talk to you. And I don't like your invasive conversation. Hurry up, come on! But wait for me, Luke. Huh? Oh, it's you two. Oh great, it's Estelle. Hey there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp. What's with the "oh great, it's Estelle" remark? What's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking of wandering out of town alone, are you? The road are full of monsters, I hope you know. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? But acting like you're a Bracer you want to be. How wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Lamburo than milk that comes from Pesero Farm. What? No way. You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real Bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real Bracers. More like Bracers in training, really. Don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now, a high pony, on the other hand, with being a killjoy. Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you. Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart aleck, cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I was supposed to become a Bracer first. I can accept that Joshua became a Bracer before me, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle. The likes of Estelle? What's that supposed to mean? So, you know, you can't even be a Bracer until you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. That means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back. You better watch out, Estelle. I'm going to train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm going to be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. Alright, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. Are you picking up? You're fighting with the kids. That boy, Luke, he's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. What do you mean by that? Don't worry about it. It's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant by when he said a secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. That's not really what I meant by curious. Oh, I guess I actually have to do that. Okay. Various shop. Oh, they mentioned it. Are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the new Stragas? Unbelievable. You actually already forgotten what we came in here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to buy a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, right? Of course. You've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid the new shares aren't out yet. I do, however, have some copies of the Liberal News, if that's what you're after. Alright, I'll take one copy then. Comes to 100 mirror, please. My dad allows me to buy it. I know my dad always buys a copy of this magazine. Does it really sell that well? It sure does. The Liberal News has an excellent reporter and camerawoman who have done a great job reporting the latest and most reliable news. They're even supposed to have a running story related to Queen Alicia's birthday celebration. But enough about that. Why don't you tell me how you did today? Did you make it as bracers? Today was your last day of training, wasn't it? Yep, everything went smoothly too. How did you know about all that, Mr. Ronan? In a certain sense, both you and Joshua are like celebrities here in Roland. I tend to hear a lot from customers coming through here. I shouldn't have expected anything less from Roland. The grapevine around here is seriously something to be reckoned with. No kidding. The women here especially love the gossip. One more thing before you go. This is my gift. This gift is my way of saying congratulations. It's a free sample item I received with my shipment of goods, but don't hold the free part against me. Recipe book. What's this supposed to be for? There's a ton of blank pages. It's a recipe book, isn't it? You got it. When you get hurt fighting, if you just limit yourself to healing bombs all the time, it's going to cut pretty deep into your wallets. This is where a recipe book comes into play. If you eat foods to recover your strength instead, it's basically free. Assuming you have all the ingredients anyway. So if you eat something new, write down what's in it and you'll have a lot of recipes in no time. So how about we try this out? Go ahead and eat this cookie. The maple cookie. Well, I have made it a personal rule to never turn down sweets. Great. Basically, all you have to do is eat the food to learn the recipe. It's as simple as that. Great, magically enchanted food that's somehow magically enchanted and we don't know how. Basically, it's as simple as that. As you're traveling about, you should eat whatever food you come across. Great rule. Great rule. That you haven't had an opportunity to try before. Well, sounds pretty convenient, right? A little too convenient. It's not like I don't like cooking and all, it's just that I've never seemed to get any better. I'd sure love to be able to increase my repertoire and really shock my dad's taste buds for once in my life. That's the spirit. I think you have. It just not in the good way. And in passing, if you're in need of any ingredients, I'd be delighted to service your cooking needs. You really know how to solicit your customers, Mr. Ronan. Thank you for the recipe book. We'll put it to good use. Eating the recommended dish at restaurants or using to-go meals adds the recipe to the recipe book. By selecting the recipe book, all learned recipes will be displayed as long as the necessary ingredients are available. The food can be made. There are two types of food. Sit-down meals, which must be eaten on the spot, and to-go meals, which can be carried as items. Sit-down meals cannot be carried as items. Ingredients used for cooking can be bought at the general store or acquired from monsters. Estelle, Joshua, am I glad I found you two? Oh, hi Anna. Something wrong? You seem to be in quite a hurry. We got a bit of a problem. Is your father at home today? Yes, he is. He said something about having to sort out a bunch of documents. What's going on? You know Luke and Pat, right? Sure, we do. In fact, we saw them not that long ago. What's wrong? Are they in some sort of trouble? I don't know how to say this, but I just heard from Yuna that Luke and Pat ran off to the tower that lies on the northern outskirts of Roland. You mean the tower of the tower of that. Isn't that place supposed to be a breeding ground for monsters? That's what they say. Unfortunately, at the moment, Sherazard is out on other bracer business, so I want to ask your father to bring the boys home safely. What are you talking about? There's no time for that. Joshua and I will go after them and bring them back. I don't know if that's such a good idea. The two of you only just qualified to be junior bracers today. With all due respect, I believe that Estelle's judgment is correct in this situation. If the two of us hurry, we may even be able to catch up with the boys before they reach the tower. I understand. I will take responsibility for whatever happens. As an emergency request from the Bracer Guild, I ask you lose no time in bringing about the safe return of these children. Roger that. Understood. Asmodee Tower can be reached by taking the western path at the junction along the Mulga Trail. You can get into Mulga Trail through Roland's northwest gate. I'll be on standby at the guild, so if you run into any trouble, you know where to find me. Come on, Joshua, we don't have time to lose. I'm right behind you. Okay, let's see what this is. Buttons. Okay, there we go. I'm the trail, so it's like up here. Here? Seems we have a little bit of monsters there. I like check out the map. And then there's a mine. The area itself doesn't seem like it's all that large. I'm just kind of exploring it. Is this the tower area? No, this is the chest. Okay, so it seems like we would still have to go here, right? Okay, so that's the tower. I do need to take a break. Beware of monsters. I'm assuming they're gonna have us like explore this tower. Ooh, I almost ran into that monster by accident. I'm really not trying to get into a battle right now. I'm just trying to explore. I can't see him because he's the same color as the ground. That and he disappears. Okay. Okay. Interesting. This has been interesting so far. I will get the hang of these controls effortlessly eventually. Me not accidentally load my save. Get the hang of these controls eventually, but I cannot see the time. I do not know how long this has gone, but I can assure you it's been longer than I would have expected it to be. Like an hour and 24 minutes. Yeah, it's probably been a fairly long one. Interesting. It plays similarly. I'll have to get a better feel on the controls, but we'll get that as time goes on. But so far, I like what I see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, but for now, that is all the time we have for this episode of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. If you like this episode, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next episode.